All right, guys, what's up? How are we? It's pretty cold right now, and I think I'm going to keep the pace up. This video is about sovereignty. You see it all the way on the top. I wrote it on its own. It clicked with me the other day, and I talked about a few things concerning responsibility in life and the responsibility of our existence, and just us basically taking charge and there was a video specifically like engaging like a king. If somebody is going to look at life as a king or a queen, depending on where you are or what you see yourself as, but the actual feeling, freedom, the strength, the resolution. What's the word? What's the word? The approach towards life as if you are the king, a king, with the confidence, I guess, with the I don't know what represents kings for us because we call them sovereign. And for us to have sovereignty over ourselves, what kind of outlook would it take for us to see the world through in order for us to be kind of to get that sovereign feeling? What are we? What are the actions, the attributes, the their actions? Like, okay, so the king is the way he speaks, the king is the way he makes decisions, and all forms of kings, right? Like there's like the feudal lords of like the east to the monarchs of like Shusmu of like Europe and the kings of Europe to the emperors and all that stuff. All of them kind of had something in common. And for them to be, especially the ones that we hear about, because we only hear about the good ones and we hear about the bad ones. The ones in between, we don't really hear about them. They don't like they pass through history, but their name doesn't really like sound throughout the years as strong as other ones. What's his name? I think Bonaparte called himself the emperor, right? And what basically he did, he's expanded his resources and his country and all that shit. Alexander the Great tried to conquer. Marcus Aurelius ran Rome at its peak. I don't know, Oda Nobunaga of Japan united Japan. Like these people, they had characteristics that allowed others to see them as sovereign. And power comes with that naturally, but like that's not what we're looking at because power requires a strong understanding or handling power or basically creating power or exhibiting power requires a strong understanding. And I don't think I'm at that point yet to kind of like discuss anything regarding it. Even with myself, I don't really discuss it. I kind of shy away from it maybe. But to be sovereign is to kind of be able to make a certain decision towards maybe power. Is to be able to make a decision towards how how you interact with people. Yeah, but that's a normal thing. That doesn't distinguish you from being sovereign and not sovereign. How would somebody that's sovereign look like? Everything he speaks with conviction, which means he only speaks when anything that comes out of him is something that has been processed to a T. That makes sense. Because if a king basically changes his mind ever so often, then he loses respect. If a king doesn't stand his ground, but also he needs to understand when to be humble and when to kind of like give in and give out. It's like a whole lot of strategic and structured approaches to handling every situation. And to be sovereign means you actually are in control of all these aspects. naturally. Because in order for you to be a true sovereign when it comes to others, whether you're a leader, whether you're a business owner, whether you're a community, like a public servant, you're taking charge, right? You're doing things, whether you have a platoon under your arm, under your hand, they don't say under your arm. All of these require you to kind of like be able to reflect your reality in a way that makes others trust it, believe it, respond, reciprocate. What is the word I'm looking for? Because there's this like, why would somebody not exercise their own will at random in front of a king or in front of a sovereign or an emperor? They don't do that. And a lot of the times, what we see is like everyone's afraid of the actual emperor. But what exactly are they afraid of? Armies being killed? A lot of people stood up to kings in history, and a lot of them were not killed. A lot of people fought next to kings and betrayed kings in history. Like Chinese strategies at the core are deceptive strategies. That basically allows everyone to just kind of like play the role. But the role they play has to be balanced so beautifully in order for them to be able to last long enough to make a move. It has to be who you are. Nobody can fake something for long. It comes out eventually. So it either comes out on your own terms, or you have to be that person truthfully. Being sovereign means being in charge of yourself and command, that word command, to be able to command yourself, to be able to engage with yourself to a point where you're completely aware and in charge of your own reality, so that everything that steps in it is something that you already are involved with. The minute they step in your reality, or you allow them to step in your reality, or you expand your reality to reach theirs, you already have a preset approach that has engaged with how they might interact with you and how you should interact with them. It maybe is more of a detailed understanding of yourself in order for you to be able to see people much better. And a deeper understanding of yourself allows you to understand how you can engage better with yourself in order to like evolve, improve, just like be good to yourself, or just get the best out of yourself. I think the negotiation part of life is the fact that you always have to get the best out of any situation, including the conversations you have with yourself, including the engagements you have with others, and all that stuff. And true sovereignty is being able to understand fully the key attributes that make you who you are, and their reflection, their these attributes, the reflection of these attributes in reality. And the reality that's based, that your reality and how other people either see it, engage with it, or how other people see these attributes in their own reality. And then you actually have like, you have a better successful structure for you to actually negotiate from a better position, giving you stronger sovereignty over any situation you're in, and giving you a lot more charge, as in like in terms of direction, where would you want to go and how would you want to come, and all these things. It would give you a better sense of a better sense of, I want to say, space. Because the more sovereign you are, the the more outwards your space goes, like, people would be able to, like, I don't know. Just, there are some people that you don't like, you don't disrespect for some fucking reason, and there are people, it doesn't matter what position they're in, you always find yourself kind of engaging with them in the same way. It's like, I don't fucking care. We're all human beings. But with others, most times, like, there are people where I just couldn't find myself acting the way I normally would in a more kind of like I don't know, just like familiar way. I found myself just the pace. To truly be sovereign means dictating your own pace when it comes to everything around you. It just got to me because of two things. Because of, like, if a boxing match, I don't know if anyone watched the anime Hajime no Ippo. It's funny because, like, they discuss the pace in boxing because two people are kind of like fighting each other. So, like, the one who actually sets the rhythm kind of like engages or wins or like just has the upper hand. And I think being sovereign is being fully in control of the pace with anything that engages with you. You are the one that sets the pace, which means you're always going to be the person that negotiates from a better position. Not higher, better. Fuck, that's a video. Okay.